Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sleep by the Hearth, where I finally learned to unmute my mic and make the actual video. So this video is going to be a little bit different, as you know by the title, it's going to be an announcement. So the game that you're seeing right now in the background is actually a game that I've already pre-recorded, or I've recorded after making this. Yeah, I haven't actually made the video yet, so I don't know how long that match is going to be compared to how long this will be. So it might be a thing where, depending on when this video ends, I either decide to cut it off, including the match, or be a thing where the match will finish, but there will be no talking because it's purely about the announcement. And right now I'm just talking with, nothing in front of me, not even the game. So I wanted to bring up a couple of things, and they're not exactly huge things, but I'm going to rattle off the list, and then we'll go through it in detail. So, I talked about the other day in my video that I was interested in playing some new games. Now, don't you worry, Hearthstone will not be going anywhere. You'll always get a Hearthstone video, and if I decide to play another game, it would be a bonus video. So you'd be getting your Hearthstone content, and then you would be getting something else on top of that. And I can go into what I have, off of my Steam account, as well as my Blizzard account, just to kind of give you a little bit of detail of what I have. And the next thing is I want to do a Q&A. We are, as of today, 32 subscribers. We got 2 more overnight. Wasn't even expecting that. It's pretty neat. And, I thank you, each and every single one of you, because you're all awesome. You've been here, from either just getting here or you've been here from the beginning, which, was a long time ago. And then I kind of took a long, random hiatus. I came back with 8 subscribers, and then, boom, all of a sudden in like a week and a half, it's up to 32. That's, some people might not see it as a lot of growth, but to me, I think that's amazing. But anyway, enough about that. That's just kind of like, I'm impressed by you guys, if anything. I'm glad that you like what I do. But I want to do a Q&A. And, some might be thinking, what kind of Q&A? Well, I'm going to give you the freedom to ask any question you want. Anything. I don't care what it is. You can ask me about my setup. You can ask me about what I do. When I'm not doing this, you can ask me anything. But the only catch is, depending on the question, I may not answer it, or I may not answer it in the way that you like. So I don't want to give any examples, but like I said, you can ask any question, no matter how silly, how weird, anything. Like, honestly, don't be worried about me being weirded out by you based on the question that you ask. I have a lot of really weird friends, and I'm also a relatively weird person myself whenever I'm just hanging out with them. So, for example, I love, I don't know, I guess it wouldn't be considered weird, but some of my favorite YouTubers are, Video Game Donkey, or Jesse Cox, or Wow Crendor, and they're all kind of, just weird in their own way. So, that's just to name a couple. And I also do watch Just Okay Guides. I used to watch those a lot, and I was told that I kind of sound like him, which I do find entertaining. I've been told that before, too, by some of my other friends. And they're like, hey, are you the one making these videos? I'm like, nah, dude, but it's kind of awesome. I was actually tempted to try to make an imitation video of me trying to really, really go hard and try to imitate his voice. But, I just haven't gotten around to it. But, yeah, so I want to do a Q&A. I might do one every month, depending on how things go. Plus, with new subscribers, it gives them a chance to, ask the questions. Plus, I don't expect a huge turnout from this one, but I am going to limit it this time only. Actually, no. Yeah, I probably won't have... Oh. Wait. Let me back up. I wasn't going to limit the amount of questions this time, but I might have to limit them in the future, depending on how many questions I get. Because one day I might get like 1,000 questions. That would be crazy. So, this time, ask no more than 5 questions. If you absolutely have more than 5 questions, do it. But I may not answer them all. I might only answer the 5 that I like the most. Plus, I'm sure I'll get some of the same questions, over and over again. So, I mean, yeah, go nuts. You know what? Don't even worry about limits this time. But don't go too overboard either. I'll end up cutting it off after a certain point. Like, if you somehow send me 10 really good questions that no one else asks, I'll read all of them. But if I get, the same, I don't know, say I got 4 people that ask me almost the same question, I'm going to answer it from one of them and then, just say, hey, I've already answered this. So that's, I guess, kind of the format. But yeah, let your imagination go wild. I don't even care. It could be like, hey, do you prefer, cheese sandwiches, or do you prefer, I don't know, punching a pillow in the face, which makes no sense, but, just, I don't know, go nuts. Go do whatever you want. Ask me anything. I think that's really all I have written down. I guess I don't have like I said, it's a mini announcement. It's nothing major. Yeah, I talked about the wanting to play games. So I'm going to go over my Steam list here and show you what I have. But first I'll name off my Blizzard stuff because, well, Hearthstone's a Blizzard game and all. So I have Hearthstone. I have World of Warcraft, which I've sunk much of my life into, but I'd be willing to go back. And I'm currently not subscribed. This is actually the first and only time I've ever not been subscribed from that game in my lifetime of playing it. I've been playing it since 2008, and I started in Wrath of the Lich King, and then I ended up essentially quitting earlier this year, just before patch like 6.1 or whatever the patch number is. I think it's 6.1. The one before the selfie patch is essentially what I quit before, and I obviously didn't do the last raid of Warlords of Draenor at all. But I have a WoW coin, so I'd be willing to use that, and hopefully have enough gold to purchase another one once I get back in there, because I wouldn't want to spend any money on the game right now, especially since I haven't just been having a whole lot of fun. I thought the initial launch of Warlords was pretty good, but it just kind of tapered off. Like, the garrison system was really the thing that made me leave, because I'm like, well, I could log in, but I'm not doing anything, and if I'm not doing anything, then I'm gonna leave. That's as simple as that. So I have Heroes of the Storm, and that game I play usually with my friends, but if you really want me to play it and kind of just do like a ASMR commentating over the matches, I could do that. And you can let me know how that is. If if you end up not liking it after if we try it, you don't have to buy it, kind of a thing. I have Diablo, but I don't have it installed right now. I used to play it on my old laptop, and I beat the game. I beat the original game. It took me, I waited a really long time. I actually just played it, and then I waited till Reaper of Souls came out. I decided, I might start playing it again. Then I played through, beat the original campaign on like hard difficulty or whatever, and then I was just like, I'm gonna take a break on this, and then wait till Reaper of Souls goes down to like $5 or something. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but maybe 10 or $7.50 or just whatever. I'm checking Black Friday, just to see what they have. And I've never played StarCraft. I tried playing Warcraft 3, and I'm not great at RTSs. I was doing it for the story, and it's just one of those things where I'm just not good at RTSs. I'm really not good, because I always get really discouraged when one of my bases gets blown up by something. So it's just like, oh well, I'd rather have that not happen. So StarCraft, although it looks interesting, is not something I'm looking to play. So now, time to jump into the Steam library here. So, I'm not going to list off every single game I have, because I think, and I don't have that many games to be honest, I only have 39 games, which some people might be thinking that's a lot, and other people are thinking like that's nothing. A friend of mine has a scroll bar on his, because he has over 200. Well, I don't have a scroll bar on mine, so that's, to kind of give you an idea of how much I have versus not. So I have Antechamber, which I've never played, but I've seen it be played, and I think it may be interesting to commentate over, but I'm not sure. I have Bastion, but it's heavily narrated, so I don't think it'll work out too well. Let's see. Don't Starve. Yes, Don't Starve. I've sunk many of hours into that, and I love the game. If you are not familiar with Don't Starve, look up Clay Entertainment, or as I used to call it, Cly Entertainment. It's Klei, and yeah, just like look up that and Don't Starve, and you'll see what it is. It's a kind of like a survival Tim Burton art style adventure, open world adventure game, where you're plopped into this world with nothing, and you have to kind of scavenge and make your own stuff, and it's really fun. And the only reason I stopped playing is because I sunk so much time into it, and after sinking that amount of time into it and realizing like, it's kind of the same game over and over, because once you die, you lose all your stuff, you lose all the progress, and you have to start over, which is after you get so far, you're like, well, I'm just gonna leave this here and not log back into it because I have so much, and if I die, well, then all that would be for nothing. So there's that. And then I have Skyrim, but I don't think that'd be great to commentate over. Plus I played so much of it. Ugh. So much of it. It's ridiculous. Euro Truck Simulator 2, which is, I was told was supposed to be fun. I don't know if my friends were just trolling me, but I'm not good at it. I'll tell you that thing. Let's see, I have Hero Siege, which is kind of like a 2D top-down Diablo. It was fun for a bit. One other game I have that I wouldn't mind restarting. I have Long Live the Queen. I have 5 hours into that game right now, but it's a really fun game. It's a visual novel, and it's you start off as this girl who I believe is either a princess or she's set to be queen, but she has to go through these day-to-day activities and learn new skills of how to be a queen before she can become the queen. But she has all these duties and whatnot. It's really interesting. Look it up. I don't want to spend too much time going into detail about that. So just look up Long Live the Queen, and you can see what kind of game that is. It's really fun, and I haven't finished it, but I've gotten a decent amount in. So I don't know of any of the endings, and I haven't died yet. So, but I wouldn't mind restarting. Then I have Racketeer and Item Tail Shop. No, an Item Tail. I don't know why. I'd said that in my failed attempt at recording this too. Racketeer and Item Shop's Tale. That's what it is. Now, someone else had recommended to me, and I apologize for not remembering the name off the top of my head. It's because I don't have your name pulled up in front of me. But I know it's my Australian commenter. He recommended that I play, I believe it's called just Item Shop or something like that. And that looks pretty interesting. I'm not sure if this Racketeer game is similar, but it is a game where you manage a shop and you build things, I think, for heroes coming in or whatever. I don't know. I've only logged in for 2 minutes, so I don't know if there's a ton of spoken narration that would kind of overshadow me talking, but it might be something that I check out. I bought it on Steam sale, back in March. Rogue Legacy is another really fun game, and that is a 2D game, a 2D roguelike game where you try to storm this castle that every time you go into it changes, and every time you die, everything that you did is passed on to your heir. So that's why it's the Rogue Legacy. You're leaving a legacy for your next of kin or whatever it would be. And even though you have to restart it every time, like some of the things do carry over. Like you can get certain skills or you can get certain gear, and that passes down. So you can technically get a little bit farther each time. It's like a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of a game. And to some people that's not very interesting, but the way they do it, it's really fun. Plus I love platformers. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it. I played 8 hours of it, and even though I wouldn't technically be starting from the beginning, it's just so much of it just a general platformer that you're not missing out on anything. And there's not really a whole ton of story, but there are bits and pieces of like why the castle the way it is, and things like that. Nifty little things all throughout. So I might do that one. I have Sakura Spirit, but I'm not gonna play through that on this channel. I haven't actually played that yet, but I'll probably get to it eventually here. And don't ask me why I have it. I mean, hey, I'm sure some of you have some similar games, and hey, we all have that kind of side to ourselves, Next up, I have Stanley Parable. I used to call it the Stanley Parable. Don't ask why. I don't know. I think it was just because Stanley had like the LAY sound at the end of it, so I wanted to make it like sound similar. So I was like the Stanley Parable. Yeah, and it's just the Stanley Parable. Probably because I've never used the word parable before. And that game's pretty fun. The only unfortunate thing is I watched someone do a Let's Play of it, and therefore I knew everything. I had really fun watching it, and I bought it was like $2, but I'm kind of waiting to forget a lot of the stuff so that I can go back through and just enjoy it for myself all over again. I wonder if they'll ever do a sequel to that, because it was so good. It really was. It was brilliant. Just brilliant. I have Super Meat Boy, but I'm sure you don't want to hear me just be frustrated the entire time. Terraria, now that's a game I've played about 2 hours of, but I found it incredibly boring by myself, and I've never played co-op with anybody. But I played it for a bit, and I didn't like it because what ended up happening was that I was trying to just build stuff and do stuff, and dig and explore, and all these blobs just kept spawning and attacking me. It's just like, look, there needs to be less blobs. I get that you drop important things, but I don't need you to be here, and quite frankly, you're just bogging down the experience. And that was just right in the starting area too. These blobs just kept coming. I was like, ugh, this is making me not enjoy the game at all. Plus, just the music was really annoying after 5 minutes. And I know I could technically put on my own thing in the background, but if I have to do that to enjoy a game, ugh, I'm sorry. Terrible. I mean, like I said, if I had someone to play with, I might do it again, especially if they knew what they were doing, because I certainly didn't. Let's see. I have Towerfall Ascension, which is another 2D game that I haven't played yet, but I heard it's really good. So I might look into that and see if that's worth it. I have Trials Fusion, which is a... if you've never played a Trials game, you're missing out. I played a ton of... Oh god, I played a ton of this game, can't remember the title. Trials Evolution for Xbox 360. That was amazingly fun. In fact, another YouTuber by the name of aka Mike B got me into that, and he was actually one of the first people I started watching on YouTube. So yeah, like it was just amazing. Like, he did all kinds of videos on it and made it look so fun, and I got it and I was instantly entertained. It was good. It's a 2D motocross bike puzzle platformer. Yeah, you heard none of that incorrectly. It is a motocross puzzle platformer. Just look it up. Just look up Trials Fusion. Trials Evolution was a lot better. Trials Fusion went for like this whole futuristic theme, and the music was futuristic, and it just sounds cheesy and dumb. But the DLC came with this version because I got the deluxe edition on sale for $14, and now they have like this other DLC where you can ride a unicorn or something. And it's just like, well, yeah, I gotta get the game just to see what this is all about. I have Valiant Hearts. I haven't played that yet. Technically, I got it for free on Xbox One before I got it for or after I got it for PC. I only spent like $2 on it, but I don't know what that is. But I heard it's really, really good, and that actually does it for my Steam games. I have 50 items on my wish list, so I'm waiting for just the big sales like Black Friday or the summer sale. I'm waiting for all those, and there's nothing that's really jumped out at me and said I gotta get this. Like Fallout, I'm just not a big fan of Fallout. I'm watching a Let's Play of it because I'm interested in the story, the main story. But as far as the environment, especially the enemies you face, it's not something I'm into. Like, I hate fighting, any of the, what's it called, the ghouls or whatever, super giants. You know, it's just not stuff that I'm into. I mean, even with Skyrim, when I faced off against the Draugr or the skeletons, and whenever I went into caves, like, I just didn't like those environments. I don't like creepy aesthetic. And I know it's not really creepy compared to, you know, other things that are really creepy, but at the same time, it's just not something that I was looking forward to doing. So in Skyrim, whenever I was out in the open or was visiting towns, that's what I loved. And now that I have a PC and can mod the heck out of it, that's pretty much all I'm doing, is just enjoying that part of the game. So yeah, just, you can just tell me if you have any other suggestions. I know I got a couple yesterday, but yeah. So I know a bulk of this announcement video just took at me like listing off games and saying I wanted to play other games, but yeah, like I want to do the Q&A, and I feel like I had something else I wanted to say. Oh, yes, that's right. If you made it this far, I wish I mentioned this earlier. I really, really do. I'm sorry if you decided to cut out, and I'll have to make it abundantly clear on the videos that I do this for. This week's video plans. Man, I really wish I put this earlier in the video. I'm going to be recording videos either later today, and I think I can do it tomorrow, but I'm going to be recording at least Wednesdays and Thursdays game or video ahead of time. So if you leave comments, I will not actually be able to get to them, and I'll leave an annotation or something. And I'll make it abundantly clear that this was recorded in advance. So if you said anything in the previous videos, I mean, I'll be reading your comments and answering them. But if you wanted me to say something in a specific video or whatever, you know, just let you know that it's not a thing that would happen. But so I'm going to be recording a whole bunch right in a row. I usually do it the day of. Like every day you see a video, I recorded it earlier that day, more times often than not. I think there's only one other time where I attempted to make a video and I ended up releasing it on the same day. It wasn't recently. It was like last week or something. I guess that is kind of recent. But trying to think here. Blah, 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 blah. What was I going to say? Yes, I'm going to be recording a bunch in advance just for the holidays, and I'll probably be doing that again like late December for Christmas time. But it's just in anticipation, because I won't be here Thursday. I'll be with my family, and Wednesday I'll be doing something as well. And Friday I may or may not be doing something, so I might as well just kind of get it out of the way. So yeah, so we have all that, and I might do it for the weekend as well, just because I don't know. I think we have other family coming in for those who couldn't do Thanksgiving, so we're doing like another mini Thanksgiving. So there might be a string of episodes that just, you know, they're pre-done, pre-packaged Hearthstone. So you won't see a whole lot of new and interesting things, because I'm not going to have any of the new League of Explorers cards from Thursday, this upcoming Thursday that is, in the new decks. But I'll try to come up with something new based on what I do have, but I don't know. I know I feel like I've been playing like the same two decks over and over again. Maybe for this pre-recorded video you see something new. I have no idea. I hope I'm smart enough to at least come up with that. But I think that's going to wrap it up. I think that's really all I had. So anyway, guys, the Q&A. Here's how I plan to do the Q&A. I will do the Q&A. I will do the answering of the Q&A next week, I believe. Yeah, basically after I get enough questions. Like, I won't let it go too long, but I do want to have at least 10 to 15 questions. Now, I'm not saying one of you people needs to write 10 questions each, because then we'll be here all day, but, you know, ask whatever you think's interesting. Honestly, it could be serious questions, it could be silly questions. Just go nuts. Like I said, let your imagination run wild as much or as little as you want. Whatever you want to know, or whatever, you know, if you think I'd have a funny answer for something, you know, I don't really care. If you ask any political stuff, I'm probably not going to give you an answer. To be honest, I don't really want to tell you one way or the other my political stance. I mean, politics just brings down the mood of everybody. It really does. But I mean, so I was like, if you ask me like, oh, do you want Donald Trump for president? Be like, look, he's someone who's running. If he wins, he wins. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Like, you know, I can't really say much else other than that. Like, I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. I'm not gonna give you any kind of. I don't want to go down that road. It's not a fun road. So just I don't know. You can ask, but I might not answer it. So, and that goes for a lot of things. Well, not a lot of things, but I don't know. You'll probably know what I'm talking about, but I don't know. You might be surprised, so ask it. Like I said, I won't be offended if you ask it. There's no question that you could offend me with. I mean, unless you're intentionally trying to offend me, but I mean, it'd be kind of mean of you, but you can do it, I guess. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today, and actually wrap it up. Like, I know I sometimes will supposedly wrap up things and then just keep going. But if I think of anything else, I'll either add it in the annotation, or since I'm not going to be processing this video until later, I might make another part of the video and just attach it on there. And I'll probably come back in an hour after I eat dinner and actually work on getting this edited and uploaded. Well, not edited, because I don't really edit anything, but getting it uploaded. So anyway, guys, I will talk to you all later, and I'm glad that I made this announcement, and I'm looking forward to those questions, so go nuts. Just do it. As I stumble over all my words, I'm excited. So come on, and let me live up to that excitement of being able to answer some of your questions. So anyway, for realsies, I'm gone. So have a good night. Bye.